So I really wanted to find my voice again. And so the easiest way to do that is to write about something that you know so well. And that was my father, who is an amazing, hilarious man, but very complicated. And he was in and out of my life as we were growing up. And I had built up some resentment and some confusion about why he wasn't always there. You know, he was married 6 times, 6 kids, in and out of prison for nonviolent crimes, for selling marijuana, for beating casinos. And I wanted to write something that helped me understand who he really was and why he wasn't there, and to also acknowledge some of the anger that I had.
I would take him, but he's a horrible example for Henry.
Does this mean I'll get to see you guys?
No, I would put him on a plane. I'm not driving that heap cross country.
But I'd like to spend some time with you two.
Absolutely not.
Now, did you ever do a road trip with your real father?
Oh, we would take road trips every summer because I would spend my summers with him. So that's actually where I would get to know him the most. And it almost took that to be confined with him.
The Rolls Royce is a character in itself.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Well, when I cast Christopher, he is so different than my father. My father is covered in tattoos, pretty brilliant. He's from Texas. He's been, in prison. And here Christopher is master of Shakespeare. He wears, pocket squares. He's a brilliant scholar. But they have that same mischievous twinkle in their eye.
I understand you put your father in the film.
I did, yes. Christopher deals weed to my father in one scene, and my dad smokes a joint with him. And, watching the film now, actually, my father passed away in June. So I haven't actually been able to watch it because I just am so afraid of that moment of just getting too emotional, because he really beams into the camera and it just so feels like him,
His love of animals clearly translated to you.
I inherited it.
What was it like having all those dogs around, and did you audition them?
Well, we didn't audition Loretta. I gave her the part. She's my dog. She, it was great having all the dogs around. That was like my perfect film set.
I love them. There's so many scenes where I'm in the back of the car and there's like 4 dogs on top of me, and then an animal wrangler like stuffed down by the bottom of the seat.
And when you're trying to get 5 or 6 dogs to sleep on a bed in the middle of a film set, it's crazy hard. So we would bring all the dogs on set. We would get the dogs in their place on the beds. No one would be allowed to talk. We would all just sit and wait till they kind of settled down. Then we would bring the actors in, put the actors in the bed. Still, no one is talking. It's all silent. And then one by one, the animals would start to lay down and go to sleep. And then we would roll and we would shoot the scene. And then you'd look at your watch and you'd be like, oh my gosh, that took 40 minutes,
Shana and Lewis, the relationship between Vera Farmiga and you.
What I would used to do is we would go around to Vera's house and just kind of hang out and get to know each other with her kids there as well. I'd play with them. I'd go play soccer with her son, and so we just hung out to make sure that it was very important that we had a good relationship off set so that it would come across on the camera.
You spent a lot of time with Christopher Plummer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was your favorite scene with him?
So many. I mean, there's one scene in the film where me and Chris are standing looking out onto the water, and we're just having, I think the conversation that Henry and him are having is a very kind of almost like a father-son talk. They're having a good talk, and I think that was really my favorite scene to film, because it was just me and him in this beautiful location, and that was a good day. Yeah.
And what were you doing there?
Oh well, I think we were just standing talking, and we were pretending we were peeing into the water. That's what we were doing. But